beautiful girls, how are you all doing? Now, today we will be starting the revision of topic 14, inshallah, the lessons that are included in the trial assessment. Okay, so what do we start our lessons with? Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Take a deep breath. Astaghfirullah al-Azim, another one. Astaghfirullah al-Azim, and a third one. Now, the lessons that are included are lessons 1, 2, and 6. Let's start with lesson 1, which is called Use Attributes to Define Two-Dimensional Shapes. Now, do you remember the two-dimensional shapes, the 5 two-dimensional shapes that we took, the 2D? They were square, rectangle, triangle, circle, and hexagon. These are the shapes that are 2D, so they are flat surfaces. They are flat shapes, okay? They can be drawn on a paper. They are flat, okay? Now, this shape, the square, it has how many sides and how many vertices? Now, what is a vertex? Do you remember? Vertex is meeting point of two sides together. So this is a vertex. This is another one. This is another one. The points, the corners are called vertices in the 2D shapes, okay? Now, how many sides do I have in a square? Sides are those sides, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And are they the same? Are they equal sides? Yes, they are. And how many vertices? 4 vertices. So for the square, I have 4 equal sides and 4 vertices. It's very important that in the square, I must have 4 equal sides, only in the square. The rectangle, I just have 4 sides and 4 vertices. They don't have to be equal, right? I can have 2 long and 2 short. They are different lengths, right? Opposite sides only are the same, but the the width and the length are not, don't have to be the same, okay? Now the triangle, do they have to be the same sides? No, they don't have to be equal sides. They just have to be 3 equal sides and 3 vertices. Now the circle, does it have any sides, any straight sides? No, it doesn't. So 0 sides and 0 vertices. What about the hexagon? It has 6 sides and 6 vertices. Okay? Now, we also said that a closed shape is a shape that has all of its sides meeting together, okay? And I don't have any point open like this one. So if I start at one point, I can end at it. This one, it's not closed because I cannot end at this point. I will start, I go down, down, down. I cannot meet this, so it's not closed, right? Now, in lesson 2, we said defining and non-defining attributes. So we said that all of these 5 shapes have some defining attributes and some non-defining attributes. So the defining attributes are the ones that we said in addition to that they must be closed. So they have to be 4 equal sides and 4 vertices and must be closed to be a square. Must have 4 sides, it doesn't have to be equal sides in the rectangle, 4 vertices, and it must be closed. What about the triangle? This is 3 sides, 3 vertices, and it must be closed. So according to this, the defining attribute of a triangle, according to this, the shape that was open in the previous slide, that was on the right, it was not a triangle. Why? Because it did not have 3 vertices, right? It only had 2 meeting points of 2 sides. Now, in the circle, it has 0 and 0, and it must be closed also. The hexagon, 6 sides, 6 vertices, and it must be closed. Now, what are the non-defining attributes? The attributes that I will not choose are what? Are the color and the size. So they don't, all the squares, they don't have to be black, they don't have to be yellow, they don't have to be orange. The color is not a defining attribute. I do not pick it, I do not choose it, okay? And the size, how big or how small the shape is, it does not matter, okay? Now, the third lesson that we will be revising is use attributes to define three-dimensional shapes, 3D shapes, which is lesson 6. Now, in this, we have 3D shapes. Now, 3D shapes, three-dimensional shapes, are shapes that have height, width, and length. That means that I can hold this object in my hand. It's an object, a real object, not like a flat object, not like a flat shape. So these are real objects. I can hold them with my hands. What is the first one? First one is not a circle, it is a sphere, like the ball. What is the second one? What is this shape? It is a rectangular prism. So to be a rectangular prism, I must have one of the faces a rectangle, one at least. Okay? Now, what is this shape? It is a cylinder. What about this one? It's a cone, right? And this one is a cube. So you need to know the 5 shapes that are 3D shapes. They are sphere, rectangular prism, cylinder, cone, and cube. And in some books, but not in our lessons or in our revision or anything, but just for extra information for you, some people call the rectangular prism cuboid. Okay? But in our lessons, we will be calling it rectangular prism. All right? Now, what are the attributes that define the three-dimensional shapes? What are they? So, FVE. Remember, F stands for what? F stands for flat surfaces or faces. Flat surfaces. Do I have anything flat in a circle, in a sphere, sorry? In a sphere, do I have anything flat? Like the ball, is there any part of it flat? No, it's all curved, right? So 0, the sphere, the FVE, the vertices and the edges are all 0, 0, 0, 0. It looks like the sphere, the same shape, like the circle, also all sides and the vertices for it are 0, also the sphere, okay? Now, the second shape is the rectangular prism. So the flat surfaces, let's count together. We said I have one here, one at the right, one at the left. That's 1, 2. One at the top, one at the bottom. That's another 2, 4. One on the front, one at the back. So that's another 2, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the flat surfaces or the faces for the rectangular prism is 6. What about the V, the vertices? I have a point at the top, a point at the point here, and a point here. So I have 4 at the top and 4 the same points at the bottom. So 4 and 4 is what? Is 8. So the vertices for the rectangular prism is 8. What about the edges? The lines, the sides are how many? We have 4 lines at the top. We have 4 lines at the bottom. And we have the lines in the middle that are holding those 4 and 4 together. So 4 and 4 is 8 and another 4, so it is 12. So FVE for the rectangular prism was 6, 8, 12. Remember? FVE 6, 8, 12. FVE 6, 8, 12. And we said that the rectangular prism and the cube are having the same exact FVE. The attributes, they are 6, 8, 12, but the faces of the cube are squares. Okay? Now the cylinder, what is FVE for the cylinder? 200. F is 2, V is 0, and E is 0. So if in the test you have any question, or in the trial assessment, if you have any question that is asking you about any of these shapes attributes, before you start answering it, remember the FVE for it. So if I ask you about the sphere, remember, yes, I know that the sphere, FVE for it, everything is 0. If I ask you about the rectangular prism, write on a paper FVE and under it 6, 8, 12, like this. FVE. Right under it 6, 8, 12. That is when I ask you about the rectangular prism or the cube. Okay, because they are both the same in the attributes, in the defining attributes. So FVE, you will say 6, 8, 12, and then you will see what is the question asking you. Is it asking you about the edges? So you go to the E, under it you have 12, so you will choose 12. Is it asking you about the vertices? You will go to the V in FVE It's under it is 8, so you will choose 8 in your answers. Is it faces or flat surfaces? So you will go to this F, look under it is 6, so you will choose 6 in your answers. According to what I'm asking you about the rectangular prism or the cube, you look in the FVE for it, okay? Please don't get confused by this. And then you look at the cylinder. Now the cylinder, it has what is its FVE? The FVE for the cylinder is 200. So you will write FVE also, but instead of 6A12, you will write 200. So now you know that the flat surfaces for the cylinder is 2. The vertices is 0 and the edges is 0. So FVE for the cylinder is 0, 200. Okay, if I ask you about the flat surfaces, you will say 2. If I ask you about the vertices, 0. If I ask you about the edges, 0. You should be able to get what is each by itself. Okay, so if I tell you how many edges does a rectangular prism have, you should be able to say it's 12. If I tell you how many vertices does a cylinder have, you should be able to say 0. Okay, now which shape has the same F and V and E? Is it the sphere or the rectangular prism or the cylinder or the cone or the cone? We're not, we skipped it, right? Or the cube. So you will say it is the sphere. Which shapes have the same flat surfaces? You will say the rectangular prism and the cube. Which shape has the same vertices and edges? You will say vertices and edges. It could be the sphere or the cylinder. Both have the same V and E. So this is 0 and 0, this is 0 and 0. So you should be able to get the FVE for all of the shapes and use them to find different answers. Okay, girls? Now please open your books on page 802. Write the date at the top. It's 21-4-2020. Now we are going to do question number 1, 2, and 4. Okay? Now for question number 1, it says, circle the 2D shape that has no vertices. No, none. Nothing in math is 0, right? So which one is it? It's pretty easy. It is. You should do it, okay? Now I'll read number 2 and you should do it also by yourself. Circle the 2D shape that has 4 vertices and equal sides. Which one is it? Which one must have equal sides and 4 vertices? Circle it, please. Then for question number 4, it says, write the name of the shape. Use the word list to help you. The word list at the top. So this is something prism. What prism? These are a list of words that you can use to help you. And now I will show you my answers. So you should have the circle, the square, and a rectangular prism. All right. Now have a look at page 803. We are going to do set A in it, which is question number 1 and 2. Let's read together the questions and then I'll tell you to do them. Circle the shape that has 4 straight sides and 4 vertices. So which shape has 4 straight sides and 4 vertices? Choose it, please. Number 2, circle the shape that has 0 vertices. So which one has 0? Okay? And now I will show you my answers. So you should have the rectangle and the circle. Now, have a look at page 805. We're going to do set E in it, which is question number 6 only. Now, write how many flat surfaces, edges, and vertices for each shape. We are going to do the cylinder since it is the one that is covered in our lessons. So how many flat surfaces and vertices and edges does a cylinder have? You should be able to say that it is 200. 200. Okay? Now, have a look at page 806. 806. Write the date at the top again, please. Don't forget, we're going to do question number 9 and 10. Now, I'll read it and you should do it by yourselves. Spheres are defined. Now, before I go into the spheres and the spheres, let's have a look at what they did with the cylinders so that we get an idea of what you should have here. It says all of these are cylinders. Cylinders are defined by 0 vertices and 2 flat surfaces. Cylinders are not defined by the color or the direction. Then the spheres are defined by what? The spheres are defined by how many flat surfaces and how many vertices. You should be able to say it. Now for number 10. what is not important that is defining for the spheres? You should be able to say. So here they chose color and direction. Here you can choose two different things. Color is one of them, and the other one is also another something else. Look at how big and how small. And these should be your answers. Zero flat surfaces, zero vertices, and color and size are the ones that are not defining. Now, I know that set G, this set, is not included in the trial assessment because this is about lesson 7, and lesson 7 is not going to be included in the test, inshallah. However, I feel like if you understand this for the 3D, then it will help you for the 2D, that you should be able to know that the color and the size of the shape does not make a difference in knowing, in defining the shape. Okay? Now, let's have a look at page 807, 807. We are going to do question number 1 and 2. I'll read the questions and then I'll show you my answers. Which shape is a square? Now, a square must have all sides equal. So which one is it? Is it A, B, C, or D? Circle it, please. Now, for question number 2, it says, which shape has 3 sides? There is only one shape that has 3 sides. Circle it, please. And now these are my answers. So you should have D and B. Okay? Now let's have a look at the last page that we will be doing, which is page 810, 810, 810. We're going to cover question number 10, 11, and 12. Now they're all pretty easy, but for number 11, please cross the cone and cross the word one vertex. Okay? Now for question number 10, it says, which 2D shape has no straight sides? No straight sides. I don't have any sides that are straight. A, B, C, or D. No in math means 0. No, nothing. Now 11. Match each 3D shape with one thing that defines it. So this is a sphere, a rectangular prism, and a cube. Match the sphere. It has how many? What? So this is 12 edges, this is 6 faces, and this is no flat surfaces. Okay? And the rectangular prism and the cube. Now number 12. All of these shapes are triangles. So they are different in how they are look, the color, how big and small. So but they are saying that they are all triangles. Circle the words that are true for all triangles. All triangles have 3 sides. All of them have 3 sides. All triangles have 3 vertices. All of them must have 3 vertices. All of them must be yellow. To be a triangle, then you must be yellow. All of them must be big, so you cannot draw a small triangle. Now, I will show you my answers. So for number 10, you should have D. For number 11, you should have the rectangular prism and the cube both matched with the 12 edges and the 6 faces, because both of them have 12 edges and 6 faces. For the sphere, it should be with the no flat surfaces. And for number 12, you should choose the have 3 sides and have 3 vertices. Now, you shouldn't choose our yellow or our any color as a matter of fact. Even if they are giving you just one triangle, you shouldn't say that all triangles must be that same color as that one that I'm giving you. So you must have the attributes that are actually defining. You cannot choose the color or how big or small the shape is. Okay? Now our big, look at this triangle. So there I drew a triangle. Is it big? No, it's not big, right? So does a triangle have to be big? No, it could be really, really tiny. As long as I have 3 sides and 3 vertices, then I'm a triangle, right? So to be a triangle, all triangles, the defining attributes of triangles are what? To have 3 sides and 3 vertices. All right? Now please do daily the the questions and the assignments that I upload. And always just listen to the video if you have time to listen to the videos of the actual lessons if you want to repeat them. They are uploaded on Coursera and I left them for you there to actually listen to them again. The lessons are very easy. The trial assessment is very easy, and inshallah I'm sure that all of you will do great in them. Okay? Inshallah, I'll see you next lesson, and Assalamu alaikum.